Hey, everybody, and welcome back to not the booze, For the News.
That's right, For the News. We're going to try something a little different. We said we were going to take the week off, but it proves to be harder than I thought it would.
Yes.
And not only that, but I felt like it would be kind of cool to try out some new extra little things that we could do on this show. And we came up with, what if we kind of reported periodically on paranormal news?
Oh.
And we're going to call it For the News.
The news.
For the News. So, how's it going?
Good. Pretty good.
Good.
Besides my super crappy day at work, but, whatever.
Well, we had something new. We went on a show on
We did.
Life Beyond 6 Feet. The RKB Paranormal guys, they have a show. So if you want to hear more of a full-length episode with us, then that's where you can find us this week. Other than here, of course. I mean,
Yes.
you can always listen to old episodes if you want. That's fine, too.
It was a fun time. We had a good
Indeed.
time.
Yes, it was. I thought you were going to say something else. Well, we got this idea because what originally sparked this, for me anyways, was we were sent a clip from the RKB Paranormal guys, and it was a clip that was caught on the security cameras at Octagon Hall.
Yes.
And honestly, probably one of the most impressive pieces of evidence I've seen in a long time, where, I mean, I'm not really going to be able to play it on here because it's just music, but you can definitely go to their Facebook page and look it up. Mm-hmm. But it is literally a door that closes on its own, but as the door closes, a shadow figure walks by in the bedroom, and you can see it clear as day.
And it's crazy because it walks out from like behind the door as if it like pushed it and then was walking into the room as the door was closing. Yeah,
I know that there was like, well, is it the shadow of the door? But if you watch it, you can clearly see that it is not the shadow of the door, in my opinion.
It was definitely interesting.
It looked like,
for sure,
if you took a person and put them in there and had them close the door, but then remove the person but not their shadow, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's very creepy.
Super cool.
And the music that they put on it doesn't make it any less creepy, that's for sure.
It doesn't. But we watched it, and I definitely got goosebumps.
It very much reminded me of kind of the other piece of evidence that RKB caught, where you see the shadow hand push out the picture off the wall.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
That was a good one.
So, I mean, it's up there, but it's actually better because you get a much clearer view of what it is that happens. Like, it's very impressive. So go make sure you check out the Octagon Hall Facebook page and watch that video. Another piece of news that I had come across online that I thought would be pretty interesting. We're going to read the article over it. And this is from mirror.co.uk. So I'm guessing this is out of the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
And the headline, now this is from just 3 days ago.
Ooh,
okay. This is from
news.
the 23rd. It says, real life Addams family hear little girl crying and smell rotten eggs in their haunted home. The family, dubbed the real life Addams family, claimed they hear a little girl crying and smell rotten eggs in their haunted home. John Paul Kennedy, 33, and his partner, Kimmy Jeffrey, 38, say they have experienced the mysterious happenings in their spooky home since they moved to their new house in September 2022. The couple are putting up cameras to capture the spooky ongoings and say their daughters, Snow, age 10, and Pebble, 6, are just as intrigued. The family, who travel in a hearse called Morticia, hope to set up a museum for their artifacts: 2 dolls, Mimi and Esther, pieces of jewelry, and a Dybbuk box. John, a teacher from Winsford, Cheshire, says, quote, "We thought we had a gas leak because it was smelling like rotten eggs. We called an engineer out, but he couldn't find a leak. Suddenly, the smell just vanished. Sulfur smells can be associated with demons." Kimmy, a therapist, said, "The other night, I woke up at 3 a.m. and heard a girl crying. I checked and Snow and Pebble, but they were fast asleep. were going to buy cameras to try to capture anything. The couple started their ghost hunting business in August 2022 after going on a tour for Kimmy's birthday. Quote, Kimmy was very skeptical about it all when she first met me, John said. I bought her a ticket to a haunted house for her birthday, and we picked up a pink spirit ghost on camera. Wow, pink. That's
different.
I'd never heard of anything like that
No.
before. Now, the family visit sites together and claim their daughter, Snow, can see ghosts and demons. Quote, she saw these really long fingers on a ghost hunt, John said. She keeps picking up stuff in the house. The girls love being involved with experiments on our different artifacts. And Kimmy added that Pebble finds it hilarious. She put out all her Barbies to see if they would move. I don't think my kids would be as amused by this.
No, definitely not. I don't think many kids at all would want that to happen.
No, I think they'd be pretty scared.
Yeah.
Now, they moved when she woke up, and she was adamant that it was not her. The couple bought each other haunted gifts for Christmas, with John buying Kimmy a demonic ring. It turned out to be a sexual demon that preys on women, Kimmy said.
Oh.
Now, Kimmy spent 250 pounds on a doll for John called Mimi. She's a haunted vessel with 2 attachments, Kimmy said. Don't ever buy me a haunted doll.
I would never even think about it, ever.
Look, I get it.
It would not cross my mind.
It's their aesthetic, you know, they're into that. You look at the picture of them, and I see why they call them the modern day Addams Family. Okay. I get it. I mean, they still look normal enough or anything. I mean, I'm not trying to say they look bad or anything, but you can see the aesthetic that they're pushing.
Yeah.
Now, the family are hoping to add to their artifacts in the hope of someday opening up a museum. Quote, we have a Dybbuk box, which is bound in rope and sealed in wax, Kimmy said, as they all are. An evil entity is trapped in there. Now, the family are contacted by their community to investigate hauntings and take Pebble and Snow along with them. Quote, we know as the haunted family. Oh, I'm sorry. We're known as the haunted family, Kimmy said. We get named the Addams family or the Warrens. Quote, we had builders stop and stare at our hearse on the driveway and take pictures of it. Oh, it was great to fit the Christmas tree in. That sounded weird to me.
I'm sure it was. It's like an enclosed pickup truck.
This isn't like an old hearse either. This looks like a newer one.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Now, we're hoping to find more evidence from our investigations, and that's the article. So,
a pink spirit, a Dybbuk box, a demon ring, moving Barbies.
The only that has a demon that is a sexual demon. I don't even really. I don't know what to say about that. Really,
I don't know if I want to know what that entails. Honestly, I don't know. And you definitely don't have to worry. I would never buy you a haunted doll. I know how much you would use a Ouija board, and I also would never buy one of those either.
You know, I don't necessarily know if I would use a Ouija board. I would have it for like decorative purposes, but I don't think I would use it.
I don't even know if I'd do that. I'd print a picture of one and blow it up and put it in a frame or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, I'd do that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have the actual board in the house.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't want it out to play with it or anything.
Yeah.
So.
And I could like craft a little, what are they called? What's the thing called? The
planchette.
The planchette. Thank you. I could like make one myself so I know it like doesn't have anything with it.
Now, there's another article. Now, this is from February 15th. Okay, this is a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I had been wondering, where the hell is Portals to Hell?
Yes.
Well, we're going to find out maybe why we haven't seen it. This isn't about Portals to Hell, but you'll understand.
Okay.
Travel the Dead breaks the paranormal TV mold. Travel the Dead creators Katrina Weidman, Heather Taddy seek to change the genre with a women-led series.
Oh.
Though the word paranormal generally refers to phenomena not currently explainable by science, when it comes to paranormal television as a genre, it is strictly defined. There are formulas, patterns, even rules necessitated by network needs for consistency to keep the audience coming back. But within the scope of their YouTube series, Travel the Dead, veteran paranormal investigators and television personalities Katrina Weidman and Heather Taddy are asking if there's a different way. YouTube series. Interesting.
That is definitely going to be something we look into.
This is probably my preferred vessel for watching things. And this is on Den of Geek. I just throw that out there. Weidman and Taddy both emerged on the television scene in 2007 with A&E's Paranormal State, one of the early successes in the investigative style format, which lasted for 5 years. The two became fast friends on the show and since then have gone on to appear on numerous series between them. Weidman continued as host of Real Fear, The Truth Behind the Movies, Paranormal Lockdown, and Portals to Hell, where she's also an executive producer. Taddy appeared on Alien Highway and Mysteries Decoded, as well as guest starring on Portals. In a recent interview for the Den of Geek paranormal pop culture show, Talking Strange, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, Weidman and Taddy discussed teaming up once more as both hosts and executive producers on the Travel the Dead. In the series, also executive produced by Kat Croft, who serves as director of photography. The paranormal investigations might be segmented into multiple episodes, and the format can easily shift. And for the Ghost Boss duo, not only does the flexibility keep it fun, but it allows them to test out new ideas and break free of network TV restrictions. I love this.
Yeah,
I love this.
Sure.
And we have said this time and time again on this show about how I think the biggest downfall of television series paranormal shows is you are obligated to find evidence or seem to find evidence.
Mm-hmm.
I think moving everything over to YouTube is a fantastic idea because you can do true investigations.
Yeah, and you don't have those limitations that a network puts on a show. I mean, they may not put extreme limitations. I mean, we don't know on paranormal
They probably
shows,
do.
but I mean, you've got to have a certain amount of watchers and viewers, and on YouTube, you don't have to have that. You can just do your own thing because you like it.
Well, and I'm wondering too, because they are producing this, if that will give us an even more legitimate investigation.
Yeah.
Because again, there's no obligation for ratings.
Yeah.
So
To uphold the rules, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Now, quote, we noticed very early on with Paranormal State, there was a frustration from our viewpoint that once the television show got popular, we were kind of stuck in a formula, says Weidman. She says she understands that is the nature of TV, but it runs contrary to their pursuit. Quote, it's really difficult to kind of set parameters around the unknown because obviously we don't know what's ever going to happen. This is from Taddy. But it is cool that we have the ability to kind of make each episode a little bit different to mix things up so it's not just the norm. So rather than being, quote, boxed in and presenting the same path each time, Travel the Dead allows them to, for instance, go to the famous Penhurst Hospital in Spring City, Pennsylvania, simply with the goal to test out new equipment, while their investigation of White Hill Mansion in New Jersey lasted 5 parts. The Penhurst shoot was only 2. They've likewise posted outtakes, bonus clips, and a 46-minute remote psychic viewing session with prolific occult researcher and author Michelle Bellinger.
Ooh.
Bellinger.
Love Michelle.
Yeah, she's pretty rad.
She's super cool.
She is one of the few psychics that I sort of believe in.
Kind of vibe with.
Well, I think she doesn't feel fake.
Right. She is definitely way more down to earth, real feeling than anybody else. Now, you aren't the super big believer in
I'm
psychics.
not.
I believe people do have that ability. Now, is it to the extent that some people say that they do? And everywhere they go, they see things, hear things, can
to be
tell you
fair,
who's standing there. I don't know.
I don't not believe in psychics. I don't believe that all the people we see are psychics.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that I don't believe that there are people in the world who do see these things. Mm-hmm. It's that I just don't believe that all the ones they throw on TV are. And the thing I like about Michelle Bellinger is that her fame, she is known from TV, but if you actually look her up, most of her fame is not from TV.
Yeah.
It's doing what she does, whereas most of the people that you see on TV are famous for being on TV.
Yeah.
So they're actors, and that's just how it is. They're just actors.
I really like with her, too, not to get off the subject of the article, but how she pulls up to a place blindfolded.
Yes.
And there are a few others that I've seen do it, but she basically takes a walk around the whole place blindfolded, like has no idea where she is, where she's going, and she's being led around this crazy place, and they just let her say what she wants to say.
And I like that. But I mean, the problem with TV is that they could have told her beforehand.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't see her from the time she leaves, and, we don't know.
It's just a different take. I mean, I like it.
Now, Weidman also references an episode where Taddy doesn't know anything about the location going into the investigation. Quote, if we did that on episode 1, every single episode would have to be like that on network television. I like the freedom we have where we can switch things up and feel right for the location, feel right for the investigation, feel right for the people that we're bringing onto our team at the time. Now, additionally, Weidman and Taddy approach the show as a team without either one being a sidekick. She calls it, quote, freeing, to be able to call the shots and also have 2 women out front in lead roles and with a woman director of photography. Weidman says they were unique to be 2 lead women on a paranormal show and when Paranormal State premiered, but that there's still not enough representation of all kinds of people in the genre and who can be a leader. Quote, and with women specifically, I think it very much comes down to antiquated views. Men are leaders, women are followers, men protect, women need to be protected, she says. We see that in the paranormal genre because there's scary things happening. While there is this TV stereotype that, quote, girls are always supposed to be scared and screaming and crying about it, says Weidman, that doesn't reflect the reality of how she and Taddy behave. Plus, Travel the Dead is their opportunity to reach out directly to a paranormal audience that already skews females. I get what they're saying, but I've never watched the show thinking that.
I think they're just referring to a general gender thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially way back then. It's not so much today. Like, men are the head of the household.
It's getting better.
It is. And that's great. But I get where they're coming from.
I'm not against this. I'm not against this. I think this is great.
Yeah.
I will definitely watch. A quote, I know there's a lot of women who watch these shows, she adds. They want to see other women do this. And they want to see the women in the front. So it's nice to be able to bring that. Another opportunity Travel the Dead affords Weidman and Taddy is the ability to go beyond ghosts and explore other paranormal phenomena, including cryptids and UFOs. Quote, we've definitely discussed that, especially a UFO investigation, says Taddy. I think it'd be cool to kind of expand and pick out similarities and see how all of it interconnects. Quote, we're taking the requests, says Weidman, about the types of cases they'll explore. Quote, since it aired, we've been flooded with requests from, like, Tasmania. I was so surprised about that, and all these locations have been wanting us to come out. So it's very much what locations would like us to be their guests, and then we'll come in. So we could be seeing these all over the place.
Yeah.
The format-busting approach of Travel the Dead appears to be working with regards to the experiences they are having. While discussing, quote, put your grown-up ears on, oh shit moments on the show, Taddy references something that will be seen in the early March episode filmed at the Hoover House outside Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Making big promises.
Yeah.
Quote, something very specific happens to me, she says. It's just funny, the series of events that happened before. I can't really say much, but something happens to me. And luckily, we had a game camera set up, and we caught it on film. So I'm excited for people to see that. Weidman adds a big moment she's excited to share involves Bellinger's remote readings, which she says, quote, will melt your mind.
Remote readings, so she's not even there.
Well, maybe on that one. You don't know.
Yeah.
Quote, there's one location we go to, and she literally sketches out the buildings on the property. She's in Ohio, we're in Pennsylvania, and she has no idea where we are. And she sketches out like a schematics for the buildings.
Cool.
Says, check them out.
Well, I'm super excited for that.
I'm pretty excited about
this. Oh, my
this.
gosh.
I think this is fantastic. I love it.
I am so excited. We're gonna go watch after this.
I'm a special kind of boy. I like watching the girls take charge of it. You know, I really do.
It's cool.
That's one thing that I think I like about Kindred Spirits is that, you know, you have Amy, you know, who was always a sidekick character back in the day.
Right.
But she's super freaking smart, man, and she is well beyond capable of doing something like this. So
absolutely,
I think it's good to see other women stepping up in paranormal. And I've actually noticed too, like looking around at other podcasts that are around and stuff, because I try to keep up on some of it. I can't listen to everybody, but there's been a lot more that I've noticed, like female-based paranormal podcasts and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I think it's good. I do.
I like it. Well, that's probably why Portals to Hell hasn't been back on.
Probably. I don't know, but it seemed, the way they made it sound though, seemed like maybe she's going to do both. Maybe this is what she's going to do in her off season or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the last article that I want to end this on is speaking of Kindred Spirits. Now, Kindred Spirits stars reflect on humanizing hauntings. In advance of their 7th season premiere, the stars of Travel Channel's Kindred Spirits confront their paranormal legacy. Now, you know, I'm going to save any commentary for as I'm reading.
Okay.
Now, as Kindred Spirits enters its 7th season, stars Amy Bruni, Adam Berry, and Chip Coffey are nowhere close to giving up the ghost on paranormal reality television. Yeah, good pun. But the trio has been considering what their legacy might be on the entertainment genre and the paranormal community at large. In an interview with Den of Geeks paranormal pop culture show Talking Strange, again, Spotify, Apple, all the places, the trio discussed the latest 10-episode season, which kicks off January 20th. This, by the way, this article is from like mid-January. Discovery Plus. As well as what they hope their lasting contribution to the ghost hunting world might be. Now, since its premiere in 2016 on Destination America and TLC, where it aired concurrently before moving to Travel Channel in 2019, Kindred Spirits has focused on haunted people before locations. Throughout the course of an episode, Bruni and Barry, both executive producers and alums of the Ghost Hunters franchise, and psychic medium Chip Coffey of Psychic Kids and Paranormal State fame, offer assistance to private residents, families, and other clients who experience trauma as a result of potential paranormal activity. The proceedings gives the show a deeply personal touch, which seemed to warrant the question about what happens when the show ends. I think we've talked about this.
We have.
Like a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
Because we wondered that. I think we wondered that. Like, they go and they do all this stuff. What happens after?
Yeah. Like, they leave, and it's just like, okay, well, they told us to just include them in things and acknowledge them when we walk into rooms. And
hope it worked.
Okay, bye.
Quote, don't say that, interjects Barry, followed by Coffey joking, quote, don't Oprah me, warning this interviewer is going to make him cry. But Bruni says she likes the question because, quote, it's important in life in general to always live your days as though they are your last. She's also reflective on the past several years working on and crafting Kindred Spirits. She adds, quote, we are always trying to further the ways we do things, and when we started this show 8 years ago, we had to argue the point we wanted to investigate with compassion. Instead, She says they got pushback that the show is not, quote, scary enough, and the activity they encounter needs to be, quote, something bad or something harmful.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, over time, as we stuck to our guns and kept proving time and time again we can make a spooky ghost show, but also be compassionate and respectful, says Bruni. Now, she says she has seen other shows emulate that approach, which is something she thinks is great and doesn't mind one bit. Barry agrees with her and refers to the fear-driven paranormal TV shows as, quote, the old ways, which he hopes the genre does not revert back to. He says he's proud of what the show has brought to the table in terms of TV and the paranormal community at large. And he sums up the accomplishments in one word: humanization. Quote, ghosts can be scary when you don't understand them, but the humanization of who we are talking to and realization that they were just like us are still just like us, but in a different form. And how we react to that and treat them is the biggest thing we have done so far. And I agree. I think that's what makes that show really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's where, Ghost Adventures goes in and screams at them. These guys don't. They try to, I want to say like level with them, but, like just talk to them.
Talk to them like normal people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, from Coffey's perspective, he says even if the show ends, he'll continue to work within the paranormal field. But Kindred has personally been enriching because of his relationships with Bruni and Barry, and because he believes the work with clients has made a positive impact. Quote, if I walked away from this show, I would walk away with my head held high, and a sense of immense pride that I got to work with two people I love and respect. And the work we did together made a difference, he said, before comparing the show with others in the genre. Quote, I can't think of a single case in 7 seasons where a difference wasn't made, and that's not always the case. Coffey adds, quote, it makes me sad to think about the end, but if it did end, I would still feel whole that I got to do what I got to do with people who mean the world to me. However, Barry is quick to add, quote, but we have more to do.
Nice.
So
Heck
I don't
yeah.
think any of them really are looking to end it anytime soon, but.
Well, I hope not. I really do enjoy Kindred Spirits.
Oh yeah.
It's a good show.
It's a great show.
And I don't know. I really enjoy the chemistry that they have on the show all together. Mm-hmm. And when the pandemic hit and Chip Coffey started doing things remote, I was kind of sad. And in the newest season, he started coming back, and I was like, yes.
I agree. I didn't like it as much, too. Like, I prefer when they're all together.
Yeah, and they're there on the property, like, and as a psychic, you'd think that it would be more powerful being there, and those feelings would be more extreme than they would be being in a computer room in your house.
I mean, you would think, but we're not psychics, so we don't know. I mean, maybe we're wrong. Maybe they do just have to look inside our. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think that's going to conclude our first For the News.
For the news.
And we're going to do this periodically, and I'm sure it'll change over time.
Yeah.
This was the first one, but we just wanted to read some of the more prevalent paranormal news at the moment. And I just thought it would be neat. So this was just going to be a bonus episode for you guys because we did take the week off. We got to, we need some time for us every once in a while.
We do.
And
but
we did another show. So
we couldn't stay away from the mic.
Not all the way. Not all the way. But where can they find us?
They can find us on Instagram at forthebooze_podcast and on Facebook at forthebooze.
You can also find us on Twitter at forthebooze and YouTube, of course, at forthebooze. Also, I put up a post on there about if anybody would want to actually see a video series where we watch and talk about videos on YouTube, paranormal stuff. And don't forget, if you have a personal story or anything and you'd like it right on the show, to send that to fortheboost12@gmail.com. And please, 5 stars. And tell us, don't even tell us anything. I don't care, just 5 stars anywhere. Just rate it. I just want to know people are listening. I mean, I know you're listening.
I
You
know. I was
you're
going
out
to say, rate and review, but you don't even have to review.
there. Yeah,
Just one part of that.
yes. Well, I guess this is going to be it, and we will be back next week with a new one.
We will. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.